Hello everyone, good day. This is Olivia Mady Francisco. So for today's lesson, we're going to talk about the chapter 7 of purposive communication, which is communication for various purposes. Before that, we're going to talk about the quote here by Larry Hagner, which is the best speakers in the world are the best storytellers. They have a gift to not only tell us great story, but also share a lot of the details that many others wouldn't. So, it says here that storytelling is powerful. Great speakers use storytelling to engage and connect with their audience. So, when you're sharing specific details, it makes stories more vivid and memorable. Effective storytellers notice and share nuances others might miss. So, by the end of the lesson, you will have been able to identify distinct speech styles suitable for different communication contexts, convey concepts convincingly, implying suitable language styles, facial cues, and gestures. Demonstrate understanding of the audience and situation while presenting concepts. Skillfully execute diverse speeches based on intended objectives. What is communication? We all know that communication is the process of passing information from one person to another. So, what is the purpose of communication? So, the purpose of communication understands information. It brings people together closer to each other. It is important management function closely associated with all other managerial functions. There are four basic types of speeches. It is to inform, to instruct, to entertain, and to persuade. These are not usually exclusive of one another. You may have several purposes in mind when giving your presentation. For example, you may try to inform in an entertaining style. So, what do you mean by entertaining style? We're going to talk about that later. Another speaker might inform the audience and try to persuade them to act on the information. However, the principal purpose of a speech will generally fall into 1 to 5 basic types. Number 1 is informative speech, exploring and educating through communication. An informative speech is a form of public speaking that aims to educate, enlighten, and convey knowledge to an audience about a specific topic. The primary goal of this type of speech is to provide factual information, insights, and details in a clear and organized manner, fostering understanding and expanding the audience's knowledge base. So, what's the main point of an informative speech? It is to educate the audience, share knowledge on a specific topic, provide accurate and relevant information, help the audience understand the subject matters. By achieving these goals, an informative speech can engage, enlighten, and empower the audience. Key characteristics of an informative speech. Number 1, objective presentation. Informative speeches are centered on presenting accurate and unbiased information. So the speaker's role is to convey facts, concepts, or ideas without personal opinions or biases. So in informative speech, you should present information neutrally. You should share facts and data without distortion. You should also avoid personal opinions, emotions, or agendas. Number 2, clarity and structure. An effective informative speech is well structured and organized. It typically follows a logical sequence with a clear introduction, main points, supporting details, and a conclusion. In an informative speech, it emphasizes the importance of organization. A well-structured informative speech helps the audience to understand complex information. Number 3. Research and evidence. Informative speeches are grounded in thorough research and credible sources. The speaker should provide evidence, examples, and data to support the information being shared. Number 4. Audience-centered approach. Consideration of the audience's prior knowledge and understanding of the topic is crucial. The content should be tailored to meet the needs and interests of the audience. In audience-centered approach, it increases engagement. Audiences are more likely to be interested and invested. It improves comprehension. Information is presented in a way that easy for the audience to understand. It enhances connection. The speaker builds rapport with the audience. Number 5. Visual aids. Visual aids such as charts, graphs, images, and videos may be used to enhance the audience comprehension and engagement. Through visual aids like graphs, charts, images, and videos, it helps audience understand complex information. Also, visual captures attention and maintain interest. Audiences remember information better when it's presented visually.
So again, to our beloved instructor, Dr. Esmeralda P. Rodriguez, and to our fellow students, a pleasant morning to all of us. So before we continue the discussion, let me introduce to you first myself. I am Amalia Q. Lawrence. Now, let's discuss the persuasive speech, that convincing through rhetoric and argumentation. What is persuasive speech? A persuasive speech is a form of public speaking where the primary goal is to influence the audience's beliefs, attitudes, opinions, or actions. The speaker aims to convince the listeners to adopt their viewpoint, change their minds about something, or take a specific course of action. A persuasive speech that effectively convinces through rhetoric and argumentation blends the art of persuasive communication with the science of logical reasoning. It's not just about what you say or the arguments and evidences, but also how you say it, the rhetorical techniques that determines its success in influencing the audience's beliefs, attitudes, opinions, or actions. Do you believe in the saying words of mouth? Words of mouth is the most powerful tool that the speaker needs to apply in delivering his persuasive speech. In persuasive speech, the speaker has a specific outcome in mind, what they want the audience to believe, feel, or to act, connecting with the audience in a way that motivates them to see things from the speaker's perspective and potentially change their behavior or thinking. For example, the topic is advocating for stricter gun control measures. The scenario is a policy advocate addresses a gathering of legislators presenting data, expert opinions, and personal stories to persuade them to enact stricter gun control legislation. See, convincing through rhetoric and argumentation of the speaker is very important. Using the credibility of the speaker with the strong arguments of the speaker in advocating for stricter gun control measures about his topic so that his listeners and viewers will believe him and the speaker will be successful in changing the minds of his viewers. There's a 6 characteristics of a persuasive speech. The first one is the clear proposition. A clear proposition refers to the specific statement or claim that the speaker wants the audience to accept. It's the central idea or argument around which the entire speech revolves. It clearly and concisely tells the audience what the speaker is trying to convince. For example, adopting a plant-based diet is the most ethical way. So the proposition in that examples that the speaker wants to convey is the value. Strong appeals in persuasive speech refers to the powerful tools and effective use of ethos, pathos, and logos. the three classical rhetorical appeals identified by Aristotle. The second one is strong appeals. Strong appeals in persuasive speech refer to the powerful tools and effective use of ethos, pathos, and logos. The three classical rhetorical appeals identified by Aristotle. These are the fundamental tools a speaker uses to connect with and persuade an audience, establishes themselves as a credible and trustworthy source through ethos, connects with the audience on an emotional level, making message resonate, which is the pathos of the speaker, while logos provides logical and well-supported reasons for the audience to agree with their proposition. The third one is argumentation. Argumentation is the core of a persuasive speech. It's the process of presenting claims and supporting them with reasons and evidence to convince the audience of a particular viewpoint or to incite them to action. By constructed, well-reasoned arguments supported by credible evidence and organized effectively, speakers can increase the likelihood of influencing their audience's beliefs, attitudes, opinions, or action. Next is counter-arguments. Counter-arguments in persuasive speech are arguments that oppose or challenge the speaker's main claim or proposition. They represent alternative viewpoints or potential objections that the audience might hold or consider. In essence, a counter-argument says, "But what about this other perspective?" Or, "Here's why your argument might be wrong." The fifth characteristics of a persuasive speech is engagement and interactions. Engagement and interactions are the techniques a speaker uses to connect with the audience on a deeper level, maintain their interest, and actively in the presentation, holding the audience's attention and making the speech relevant and interesting, like using hooks, questions, personal stories, or quotes. And the last but not the least characteristics of a persuasive speech is the call to action. The call of action in a persuasive speech is the explicit and direct statement or set of instructions that tells the audience exactly what the speaker wants them to do as a result of hearing the speech. It is the last part, an important part, where the speaker moves from convincing the audience to urging them to take a specific step. For example, visit our website at saveourplanet.org and sign the petition to ban single use of plastic.
Argumentative speech. An argumentative speech is a type of public address that goes beyond persuasion to engage in a structured debate over a controversial or debatable topic. Unlike persuasive speeches, which aim to influence the audience's beliefs and attitudes, argumentative speeches focuses on presenting well-reasoned arguments, evidence, and counter-arguments to establish the superiority of one viewpoint over another. Example is a piece of writing like an essay or paragraph that present a clear stance on a topic and support it with evidence, reasoning, and logical arguments to persuade the reader. Key characteristic of an argumentative speech. Number 1. Controversial topic. Argumentative speeches center around topics that have multiple perspectives or opinions, sparking debate and discussion. Example of controversial topics are free speech, death sentence, global warming, gun control, and abortion. Number 2. Aim and counterclaim. The speaker presents a clear claim to or thesis statement which represent their stance on the issue. This claim is backed by well-articulated arguments and may also address counterclaims and opposing viewpoints. Example, argumentative for an opinion. Children should have cell phone, and counterclaim, rebuttal to a claim, children should not have cell phone. Number 3. Evidentiary support. Argumentative speeches rely heavily on evidence, which can include data, statistics, expert opinions, anecdotes, historical examples, and research findings. Example ng evidentiary support refers to the evidence that is presented to back up a legal argument or position in court. Example, evidentiary support refers to the use of evidence to back up and claim or argument. Number 4, logical reasoning. Sound reasoning and logical connection between evidence and conclusion are crucial in argumentative speech. The speaker uses deductive and inductive reasoning to build a coherent argument. For example, if the statement is everything outside is wet because it is raining, and the person realizes he left his shoes outside, logical reasoning would reach the conclusion that his shoes are wet, his shoes are outside. Everything outside is wet due to the rain. Therefore, his shoes are wet. Number 5. Rebuttal of counter-arguments. Addressing counter-arguments and refuting opposing viewpoints demonstrate the speaker's ability to critical analysis and strengthen their position. Rebuttal of counter-argument. If your argument was, we should get a cat, and your parents' counter-argument was, but your sister Susie is allergic to cats. Example, well, I heard you say that Susie is allergic, but there's actually a problem with that because Lisa was around a dog yesterday and she was fine. Number 6, engagement and active listening. Argumentative speeches encourage audience engagement through active listening and critical thinking. The audience may be prompted to evaluate the presented arguments and engage in Q&A sessions. Active listening is a communicating technique that involves alternatively processing and understanding the speaker's words and nonverbal cues. Okay, now let's proceed into entertainment speech. An entertainment speech, also known as a humorous speech, is a form of public speaking intended to entertain and amuse the audience. Unlike other types of speeches that focuses on conveying information, persuading, or arguing, entertainment speeches are designed primarily for enjoyment, laughter, and providing light-hearted moments. Example of entertainment speech could be best man's speech at a wedding, often filled with humorous anecdotes about the groom. It could also be a toast at a retirement party, or a principal's speech before a school talent should, all designed to amuse the audience with lightheartedness and stories. We have key characteristics of an entertainment speech. Number 1 is humor and anecdotes. Entertainment speeches heavily rely on humor, wit, and comedy elements. The speaker uses jokes, anecdotes, and amusing stories to engage the audience and evoke laughter. Example, personal anecdote. Last night, I accidentally locked myself out of the house and had to crawl through a window to get back in. We need this humor and anecdotes for our speech to not boring our speech, para hindi sila maboring, para masayan din silang makinig. Number 2, engaging delivery. The delivery style is lively, animated, and engaging. The speaker's tone, facial expressions, gesture, and timing contribute to the comedy effect. Example involves the speaker's ability to capture and maintain an audience's attention through various techniques. This includes using clear language, making eye contact, varying vocal tones, and incorporating storytelling. Mas maganda kasi tignan kapag habang nag-speech tayo ay yung mga sinasabi natin ay may nakikita na sa ating mukha na na-express natin or nafe-feel natin yung mga sinasabi natin. Para parang sa like example sa storytelling. Example ng storytelling natin ay yung sarili nating story. Kaya kailangan natin na parang totoo yung mga sinasabi natin, kaya ma-express natin sa ating mga mukha. At yung sa gesture ng ating mga hands, mga ganun. Okay, number 3, relatable content. Entertainment speeches often revolve around relatable situation, everyday experiences, or common quirks that resonate with audience shared human experience. Example nito is creates a connection between you and your audience. Stories about overcoming common struggles like procrastination or anxiety, memes that capture everyday frustration, and testimonial showcasing how a product or service has helped others. Number 4, surprise and irony. Effective entertainment speeches may incorporate elements of surprise, irony, and unexpected twist to keep the audience engaged and entertained. Example ng surprise and irony. Irony occurs when events or words are the opposite of what is expected, creating a sense of surprise, humor, or deeper meaning in literature, rhetoric, and everyday situations. Example, the Titanic was touted as an unsinkable ship, yet it sank on its first voyage. Number 5, incongruity and exaggeration. The speaker may use an incongruity or placing elements in unexpected context, an exaggeration for comedy effects, creating humorous constraints and emphasizing absurdities. Example is exaggeration are also known as a hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses dramatic overstatement to emphasize a point or create a humorous effect. Example nito is, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse, or that bag weighs a ton. And lastly is cultural reference. Humorous reference to pop culture, current events, or societal norms can enhance the relatability and entertainment value of the speech. Cultural reference are specific things, ideas, or concepts within a culture that are too widely understood and shared by its members. This can include things like famous by its members. This can include things like famous figures, historical events, popular media, specific food. And this is the characteristic of entertainment speech, which is 6 characteristics. Which is humor and anecdotes, engaging delivery, relatable content, surprise and irony, incongruity and exaggeration, and lastly, cultural reference. Dapat lagi natin itong isa ulo para wag nating kalimutan sa entertainment speech kasi magagamit natin ito pagdating ng araw.
Igniting passion and motivation through words. An inspirational speech is a form of public speaking that aims to uplift, motivate, and inspire the audience by delivering a powerful and emotionally resonant message. Unlike informative or persuasive speeches, the primary goal of an inspirational speech is to evoke positive emotions, instill a sense of hope, and encourage personal growth and action. It says that inspirational speeches often draw from personal stories, powerful metaphors, or universal themes to connect with listeners and encourage them to pursue personal growth or take meaningful action in their lives. Are the key characteristics of an inspirational speech. First, the emotional connection. Inspirational speeches seek to establish a deep emotional connection with the audience. The speaker uses personal stories, anecdotes, and relatable experiences to create a heartfelt and empathetic atmosphere. This emotional bond helps the audience feel understood and inspired, making the message more powerful and memorable. Number two, uplifting message. The core of an inspirational speech is a message of hope, determination, and positivity. The speaker aims to uplift the audience's spirits and ignite a sense of motivation and purpose. These uplifting messages help listeners feel empowered, confident, and ready to face their own personal or collective challenges with renewed energy and optimism. Number three, personal transformation. Inspirational speeches often focus on personal growth, resilience, and overcoming challenges. The speaker shares stories of their own or others' transformational journeys to illustrate the potential for change. Highlight the theme of personal transformation by focusing on growth, resilience, and the ability to overcome life challenges. These speeches aim to show that change is possible no matter how difficult the circumstances. This story serves as powerful example that inspire the audience to believe in their own capacity for growth, encouraging them to persevere, adapt, and transform their lives for the better. Number four, clear takeaways. While the speech may be emotionally moving, it also provides practical takeaways and actionable advice for the audience to apply in their lives. This may include actionable advice, strategies for personal improvement, or lessons learned from the speaker's experiences. By providing concentrate guidance alongside emotional encouragement, the speech becomes not only motivational but also useful. This helps listeners translate inspirational into action, empowering them to make meaningful challenges or take steps toward their goal. Number five, engaging delivery. An effective inspirational speech is delivered with passion, enthusiasm, and genuine belief in the message being conveyed. The speaker's delivery style enhances the emotional impact of the speech. Engaging delivery, the speaker's tone, body language, eye contact, and vocal variation all contribute to a compelling and engaging presentation. A heartfelt and enthusiastic delivery not only reinforces the messages but also inspires trust and connection, making the speech more memorable and motivating. Lastly, appealing to values. The speaker may appeal to shared values, ideas, and aspirations to create a sense of unity and common purpose among the audience. By highlighting these common beliefs, the speaker fosters trust and emotional connection, making the message more persuasive and resonant. This technique helps the audience feel that they are part of a collective mission or purpose.
Different types of speeches according to purpose. Acceptance speech. When an individual receives a kind of award or prize, an acceptance speech is given. Here, the speech usually comprises the individual sharing praises for people who supported him or her to reach this far and genuinely feel thankful and or appreciative of the award. Meaning to say, an acceptance speech is given when a person receives an award or prize in this kind of speech. The person usually thanks the people who helped and supported them along the way. They express their gratitude and appreciation sincerely. For example, a renowned actor receives an Oscar for Best Actor and takes the stage to express gratitude to their family, colleagues, and fans who contributed to their success. Meaning to say, when they go on stage, they thank their family, friends, colleagues, and fans who helped them succeed. That's an acceptance speech. It's all about showing thankfulness. Anniversary speech. As the name suggests, this speech is given to congratulate a married couple on reaching such an incredible milestone in their life and marriage together. The speech is quite informal in nature as the most family and friends are the ones who delivered it. Anniversary speeches are pretty short and mostly include the special moments and memories about the couple. The anniversary speech is described as a message of congratulations typically delivered to a married couple who have reached a significant milestone in their relationship, such as a wedding anniversary. These speeches are often heartfelt, informal, and delivered by a close friends or family members. They highlight special memories and moments shared by the couple. A sample scenarios given here is about friends and family gathered to celebrate the couple's 25th wedding anniversary. A close friend delivers a heartwarming speech reminiscing about the couple's journey and highlights their enduring love.
Good day, I'm Ruby May Grande. I would discuss the different types of speeches. Birthday speech. A birthday speech is a typically given by the birthday person or a loved one. These informal talks add a special touch to celebrations. Imagine a relaxed gathering of family and friends, glasses raised high, as heartfelt words are shared to honor the birthday star. It's a chance to express love, appreciation, and well wishes, making it a memorable moment for everyone involved. Commencement speech. A commencement speech is more than congratulations. They are a launchpad to the future, delivered by prominent figures at graduation ceremonies. These addresses inspire graduating students, bridging celebrations with the challenges and opportunities ahead. The speaker's word, a blend of wisdom, encouragement, and visions, aim to leave a lasting impact, motivating graduates to embrace their potential and shape their futures with purpose. Unlike the intimate joy of a birthday speech, a commencement address aims for broader resonance, shaping not only individuals' journeys but also the collective futures. Demonstrative speech. A demonstrative speech was focuses on teaching your audience how to complete a specific task, reach a goal, or execute a process. Example, a cooking demonstration, a DIY tutorial, or a science experiment explained by step. The speaker acts as an instructor, guiding the audience through a process using visual aids and concrete example to facilitate understanding and retention.
Good day everyone, I'm Isaiah Faith G. Felix. Today we're going to talk about the eulogy. A eulogy is a speech delivered at a funeral or memorial service to commemorate someone who has recently passed away. It serves as a tribute to deceased, highlighting their life, accomplishments, qualities, and the impact they had on others. Often, eulogies include personal anecdotes, cherished memories, and reflections shared by the speaker, who is typically a family member or a close friend. It provides an opportunity to remember and share the significant moments, achievements, and the unique aspects of a person's life, including one or two personal stories or anecdotes that shed a positive light on the character of the deceased is a crucial. These stories help to illustrate their personality, values, and the impact they had on others. A good eulogy recognizes the loss felt by the family member and friends of a deceased. It validates their grief and offers a sense of sorrow. Next is a farewell speech. Farewell speech are given to honor individuals who are moving away. The purpose is to express that the departing individual will be missed. Effective farewell speech, often including expressing appreciation, sharing positive memories, offering well wishes, and acknowledging the loss. These speeches acknowledge about the departing person and those remaining, acting as a formal and emotional farewell on behalf of a group. A good farewell speech should focus on public conclusion that summarize the overall sentiments. Sincerity, conciseness, and the positive tone are important elements of delivery.
Good day everyone, I'm Marjorie Adao and today I will discuss the graduation speech and impromptu speech. Graduation speech is a formal address delivered by a student, often the valedictorian, during a graduation ceremony held at the end of a high school, college, or university program. It marks a significant milestone in the academic journey of student and is usually presented in front of a large audience comprising the graduating class, faculty members, family, friends, and invited guests. The purpose of a graduation speech is to celebrate the achievements of the students, reflect on their shared experiences, and acknowledge the support and contribution of teachers, parents, and peers throughout the academic years. These speeches are typically brief but powerful, and they are expected to be heartfelt, entertaining, and inspirational. A good graduation speech captures a few memorable incidents from the past, conveys gratitude, and ends with the optimistic messages about the future. It is a unique opportunity for the speaker to represent the voice of the graduating class and to motivate their peers as they prepare to embark on new challenges in life. Example: the valedictorian of a graduating class delivers a speech that revisits memorable moments shared with classmates, highlights important lessons learned throughout their school journey, and expresses appreciation to mentors and family, and encourages fellow graduates to embrace the possibilities and uncertainties that the future holds.
Impromptu speech is a type of speech delivered without prior notice or preparation. It is often given in spontaneous situations where the speaker is required to think and speak on the spot. This form of speech is typically brief and demands quick thinking, clarity of thought, and effective communication skills. Unlike prepared speeches, impromptu speeches do not allow the speaker to plan or rehearse the content in advance. The individual must immediately formulate ideas and structure the response coherently within a short period, often just a few minutes. These speeches are common in academic settings, public speaking, competitions, interviews, debates, and political events. The main objective of an impromptu speech is to evaluate the speaker's ability to respond to unexpected topics with confidence, relevance, and eloquence. Example:
Introduction speech. An introduction speech, as its name suggests, serves to introduce the main speaker and their topic to the audience. Its primary purpose is to set the stage for the main presentation, creating anticipation and providing context. The introduction speech typically includes a brief welcome, acknowledging the audience and the occasion, an introduction of the main speaker, highlighting their credentials, experience, or relevant background related to the topic. This builds credibility and establishes the speaker's expertise. A preview of the main presentation, offering a concise summary of the key points or themes the main speaker will cover. This helps the audience understand the structure and focus of the upcoming presentation. A connection to the audience, bridging the gap between the speaker and the audience, often by highlighting shared interest or experience. This fosters engagement and creates a sense of community. A brief engaging anecdote or story, adding a personal touch to capture the audience attention and create a memorable introduction. The key is to be concise, informative, and engaging, ensuring a smooth transition to the main presentation. The introduction speech should never overshadow the main presentation itself. Memorize speech. Memorized speech delivered without notes are common in formal settings demanding polished delivery. The process involves writing, memorization, and delivery. Three process of memorized speech. First, writing. Careful crafting of the speech, focusing on word choice, flow, and impact. Second, memorization. Committing the speech to memory through repeated practice and rehearsal. 3. Delivery. Reciting the speech without notes, requiring strong memory, confidence, and composure. Example: a best man's wedding speech is a classic example. The speech, carefully written and rehearsed, aims for heartfelt and engaging tribute, delivered smoothly and confidently without notes.
Motivational speech. As the name suggests, a motivational speech is given to motivate and convince people to believe in something or point of view. Let it be any subject. The audience is given the main reasons or problem about the same, is presented with the benefits, and then is provided with the much required motivation to pursue it fully. A motivational speech is a public speech intended to inspire an audience to make a change in their lives. It usually has a clear purpose, a personal story written for a specific audience, and a conclusion that includes a call to action. Motivational speeches have multiple uses, including improving personal development, inspiring people to take action in a cause, giving a new perspective, reducing apprehension, building confidence, and improving work performance. If done effectively, a motivational speech can trigger an audience to seriously consider ways they can change parts of their lives to make improvements for themselves or society. A sample scenario given involves a life coach delivers a motivational speech to a group of individuals seeking personal growth, encouraging them to set ambitious goals and overcome self-doubt. The scenario describes a speech designed to empower individuals to break free from limiting beliefs, set ambitious goals, and develop the self-belief needed to achieve significant personal transformation. The speech likely combines motivational techniques like storytelling, inspirational examples, and practical advice on goal setting and self-improvement strategies.
My name is Jan Leria. We tackled about retirement speech. It is a formal manner for someone who is retiring to express gratitude to others, consider their work, and meaningfully say farewell. For example, a high school teacher is retiring after 35 years of service. He is giving a speech during a school assembly. Toast speech is a brief speech that honors someone or something, usually followed by the raising of a glass in their honor. For example, at a wedding reception, the best friend of the groom gives a toast. Tribute speech is a speech that acknowledges and commends a person for their accomplishments. For example, at a school program, a student gives a tribute speech to a retiring principal.